The title of my piece is Drawings from Meyoko, and I started writing the piece after looking at one of Meyoko's illustrations, so definitely it was something that was at the forefront of my piece. It was definitely inspired by her work. I felt that I wanted to give something back to her in a way, not as a gift, but more as an showing her appreciation of her work, because I felt that when I looked at her illustrations, I got very motivated and very inspired to write and create things, and I was very grateful for that, so I kind of wanted to give something back. Most of my music has this aspect of nostalgia, this element of melancholia, nostalgia, and just always wanting to be in a different place than the present. That's a recurrent theme in a lot of the work I do. So I feel that even if in this piece I wasn't thinking of a specific person that I was remembering, just the concept of remembering past times and wanting to be there, kind of this longing for being in a different place, it's very present.
I think without the tape part, the challenges with the three instruments is that there's little sparse moments, and so it's like trying to find our own ways to lock into that can be a little bit of a challenge, just because there's so much space in between the parts without the tape. And then when you add the tape on top of that, there's so much going on in the tape that you're trying to fit your way into that sound
and make it sync up with everyone else.
Exactly.
I think just from the beginning you hear it's just one at a time, and then by then one instrument at a time we layer it on there, and then there's the harp and the electronics where we're intertwining between each other, which I can definitely see that being like a brush stroke of some sort, or in the sense of that. And then there's pauses where maybe you're starting anew or stopping to think of a new idea to add on to it, and slower moments. So there's all sorts of different colors in that way that could be related to the artwork itself.
I've always been very drawn to the aesthetic of Dia de los Muertos. Also tying to Meyoko's work, it's because she has recently worked on some skeletons, and one of the drawings that I was inspired to was also this, it's not literally a skeleton, but for me my perception was that it was someone that was dead. But then it not dead in a way that when I looked at it, it was like, oh, death. It's more like, oh, interesting and just provocative. So I feel that in that way it's, even though when I first heard that this was related to El Dia de los Muertos, I was like, I've never thought about drawings as a piece that ties to that theme. It totally does, and every day that I think about it more, it's more and more evident that it's kind of there in the work.